Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Every time I start talking about boxing, a white man got full rockin' my gun out there.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Oh, this hard goddamn work being this good.
One more again, see if I take all your front set, I swear.
You ain't my daddy, are you?
There's gonna be consequences and repercussions. What time is it?
Game time!
Okay, welcome again to the Don't Be Blasé podcast. We're coming to you live from the House of Pain, otherwise known as Snap Fitness Adelaide CBD. I'm your host, Speed Caruana, joined as always by my man, Steve Burrows.
Hello there, how you going?
I don't know what to do with that. That was very sensible.
We didn't prepare for that.
Thank you, Steve. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Larry and Lad. Go see the boys in Region Arcade, get yourself an awesome coffee, listen to pretty sweet tunes. But for now, on with the show. Now, we actually have a special guest briefly this afternoon. He needs an introduction, but he's not going to get one. But we're going to play some music for him. This is for our special guest.
We are the pride of Brisbane town. We will
It's terrible.
blue and gold. We will always fight for victory. Like Fitzroy and Beza, all for one and one for all. We will answer to all. Go Lions, Brisbane Lions, will kick the winning score. You'll hear a mighty roar.
Okay, that's enough of that rubbish. So we have one Jared Gosling. Welcome to the show, Jared.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Jared's had a bet with me because he's a diehard Brisbane Lions fan. God knows why. And they were lucky, just slipped over the
Hottest
line
team in
and beat
AFL.
the hottest team in the AFL, the Carlton Blues. So as of losing the bet, we had to get Jared on the show. So Jared, welcome to Don't Be Blasé.
Thank you for finally having me, guys. Just went and done a workout, got a pump up, did my hair. Then I realised it's just an audio, so...
Well, you do have a face for radio, mate. So
wasted my time.
that was Jared, ladies and gentlemen. He keeps banging the table and banging his head into it. Thanks for having us, Jared, and now you can piss off.
Cheers, Jared. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye. See you guys.
So we get back to our regularly scheduled programming and start off with our new feature. This is one that's been it's been going gangbusters since last week, and this also, thanks to our man Big J, not any relation to this J, it has its own theme music. So we're going to play with that for you right now.
Many are born flogs, but only a select few are truly eligible for the Shit Bloke Awards. With your host, Spee Caruana.
That's right, we've got the Shit Bloke Awards, and it has music, and it's Spee's Shit Bloke Awards. I finally have something to myself. Okay, you can take your fucking lawn chat and piss off. We have Spee's Shit Bloke Awards, and I'm just going to come straight at the barrel.
Okay.
One vote, Jay Gosling, because your team beat mine. Not a real good substantiated vote there. But he's on the leaderboard. One vote, Jared Gosling, because I hate Brisbane.
I'm going to give one vote for Big J because he's just produced this marvellous entrance theme, which is actually better than the lawn chat. And I'm a bit upset about it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Steve's Shit Blokes Award. It's Spee's Shit Blokes Award.
No, it's just the Shit Bloke Awards with your host, Speaker Awana.
Okay, well maybe. Okay, we'll take the vote off.
Take the vote off. But
Yeah, but I want new music, man, because as good as that, I'm going to come up with my own new segment.
Yep.
We're going to have the third segment on this show.
There we go.
And I need some more music, Big J. So
That's all right. Well, you come up
Get ready,
with some song. You can't just be throwing requests out there with no concept.
I'm gonna vote. My votes maybe two
2 votes?
to the maybe three.
3.
That's
a biggie. 3 votes is best
I
on
think
ground.
he deserves it. The old Thai boys soccer coach.
Oh.
He led a group of children,
Yes.
11 to 16-year-old boys.
Yep.
Down a tunnel
Yep.
where there's no access really.
Oh.
I mean, they had to go through like small crevises.
Yeah.
And
Do you think he was maybe trying to get some access to some small crevices? Is that where you're leading this?
I'm not leaving it anywhere.
Okay.
I'm going to say that, It's probably not. It was a bit of a bonehead decision,
Yep.
bonehead call, and I think it deserves some votes.
So you're giving him the best on ground.
Well, unless you can beat it, but look, this is votes on committee.
Yep.
I'm happy to vote on committee.
No, that's
so
all right. I think he
it deserves more than older Jared over here.
I definitely deserve more than Jared, but
So,
Jared does need to feature it.
Yes, so I'm happy to leave it 2 floating at the moment, unless you can beat it.
No, I'll give him 3, and floating
Okay.
was probably a good choice of words. That's what he's probably going to be lightly if they don't get to him anytime soon. But yeah, it's just I'm very shocked with the Thai coach. I want to know, and I'm horrified to. It's going to be one of those things. Oh, they're out, but I don't want to know. But I kind of need to know why they were down there in the first place. It doesn't seem. I understand you do a bit of hiking, a bit of team building. But how you get stuck that deep into a cave is beyond me.
Well, apparently, my understanding is that it's a bit of a rite of passage,
Yep.
and you have to get to a certain point. I don't know if you sign your name or
Yep.
you have to touch a particular wall, which is...
Well, they used to have a similar rites of passage with the Spartans. They had to go off with their leader that taught them the way, and they were somewhat interfered with as well. So I'm worried about any sort of rites of passage these days that involves young men going off with older dudes.
Yeah.
That's just me. It's the world we live in, Steve.
I don't know what to say about that. But anyway, yeah, he gets some votes because that's just a bonehead call. Going into monsoon season,
Yep.
yeah, the rains were coming.
Yeah, that's it. Well,
And-
well speaking of weather,
Yeah.
my 2 votes is going to go to winter. Now,
Okay.
It's a common thing that people in Australia every year, and it's been happening for about I don't know 400 something years. We are always caught off guard by winter. Australians don't enjoy winter. We fucking hate it, and I'm one of those people that hate it. But this year seems a lot colder than the last couple. Maybe because I have a very low body fat percentage. You can hear the wank dripping off me with that one. But it just feels like this is proof that there is some sort of global warming, but it's just fucking freezing at the moment. We're getting these huge switches in temperature. It doesn't feel like we ever get a spring or an autumn. It just feels like it's hot, cold.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm just done with it.
Yeah, I'm done. You know, it's funny you say that Australians don't like it. I know a whole heap of people who appreciate or enjoy winter more than they like summer.
Now,
True story.
Do they also appreciate burgers and stuff? I'm wagering that they might be a little bit chunky.
They are a little...
Oh, surprising that fat people enjoy winter. When I was a fat person, I enjoyed winter.
Yeah.
I'm not fat anymore, and
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's so cold. It's just... I'd rather sit there, on the couch, watching the cricket, in some shorts, and that's it. No top on, just a fan on. I'm not a big air conditioning guy. I just want to be able to I like sweating. That's why I loved being in Bali. Just some humidity. I don't mind sweating. When you're at home and you've got the heater on and you've got track pants on, you've got your slippers on, you've got a jumper on, and you've got a blanket on when you're sitting on the couch, and you're still fucking cold, that just doesn't fly with me. And this is from a guy that lived in Germany, and I seem to be able to handle their winter a lot better than I do here.
Yeah, it's definitely fresher this year than I can remember. Anyway, we don't even have heating at my house, so it's cold, man. And so it's a juggle. We got these little, these little tower heaters.
Yeah.
So we're sort of like, fucking they're so expensive to run.
Oh,
man.
they are. They're not cheap.
No, so I have one going on, and then the little boy's room, he has it on for a couple of hours, and I run over to the little girl's room, she gets it for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
It's like the old dinner plates thing,
Spinning plates.
Spinning plates
And that's how
like
you're staying warm, just running between the two.
exactly. Have you sorted out the electric blanket scenario situation?
Oh,
How's that going?
It's still been going on. It's just like, as much as I hate being cold, I hate being that hot too.
Yeah.
Like just getting to bed and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's the gates of hell right next to me. And there's Satan. Hi. Just sleeping next to it. But I just can't handle the I don't know. I like to have a bit of a regulation with my body temperature. You know?
Sure.
Like in summer when it's really hot, just get me sort of sleeping in not very much, maybe a bed sheet and just the fan on. I'm good money.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
sleep in that weather all day.
Yeah.
This, because I go to sleep with the electric blanket on, and I've got like a t-shirt on and maybe some pants, and I wake up in the middle of the night just sweating. And it's just like, this is just shit house. Like, I just cannot get comfortable this time of year, and I don't like it.
Yeah, no. And have we got any relief on the horizon? We're not even halfwway through winter.
I know. It's just, I'm off it. I'm off it.
Done.
Winter,
2 votes?
2 votes.
So does the super coach get 3 votes? Does he? The super coach?
Yeah,
over
super
there?
coach gone. Yeah. Thai coach, because I just don't trust that bloke.
Nah. So let's how's it updated?
So the leaderboard at the moment is standing at Spee, S. Caruana at the top with 6 votes.
Yep.
That's I don't think I'm going to be overtaken. S. Burrows, 3 votes.
All because of a suit.
Yep. It was the lack of time, mate. You just, if you were in front of a trial, in front of a judge, you'd get 10 years for bad taste. 3 votes, Ty Coach, 2 votes, Winter, and 1 vote, Jay Gosling. But moving on to something better, World Cup. World Cup is almost done. Have you been watching the game so far, Steve?
I have.
And more importantly, has your Facebook feed been bombarded with all the "it's coming home," "football's coming home,"
Yeah.
"it's coming home"?
Just from one source.
Just one source?
Yeah.
Is it one R. Astley?
Yeah, Rassley. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in full Facebook mode at the moment. I watch the replays. I can't stay up.
Yeah.
The other day I tried to watch the Formula One, fell asleep.
Yep.
Then I would try to watch the game. I enjoy watching the replays, and plus I can watch it at my own pace because I think I've told you before, I can never actually sit and watch anything for the actual designated time. It actually happens over a couple of days usually. So I'm up to date. I'm looking forward to, is it tomorrow night?
Tomorrow morning. Well,
Tomorrow
we're
morning,
recording
sorry.
this on Tuesday. This will be out Wednesday.
Yeah.
So by the time this comes out, the France-Belgium game will already be decided.
And who you got?
And then that's the tough one.
It's a big one,
That's the one I'm really keen to watch because I'd love to see Belgium, but then it's one of those things where I don't feel as bad if France win. I don't feel as bad for Australia losing. I'm like, we lost to the eventual champions,
exactly,
so how are we supposed to compete with that? It's just me just trying to find any excuse for Australia being shit.
Yep.
And the other game being Croatia and England. Now, I have found myself coming around on England. But then I also find myself, I can't quite get on board with England. Purely because I see the English fans very similar to the Crows fans. It's just the sense of entitlement, or the sense of they are a great team when they haven't achieved very much for a very, very long time. And there's always this anticipation from the fans, like English fans think they're going to win every tournament, Crows fans think they're going to win the flag every year. And they haven't done a lot of winning, So I've even said it, and this is probably going to be one of the greatest bets you could put your money down of all time.
Okay.
I reckon
going
England's going to make the final.
Yeah.
Much like Crows in the grand final.
Yeah.
They'll be up 1-0 at halftime, lose 3-1.
3-1. Yep.
That's my prediction. England will make the final and lose 3-1. No matter who they're playing, they'll be up 1-0 at halftime.
Yep.
Lose 3-1. You know what? If you need to invest the house on it, get on that one again. I know Benny lost his house on my last investment. Sorry, Ben. But you can win it all back on this one, mate. Just double down.
Double down. The expert I listen to all the time is Rassley. I was talking to him this morning. And he was saying, I'm really feeling good, Yeah. And he goes, I've just got a feeling. I'm like, you have a feeling every tournament. It's like, no. This one's a real feeling. This is a proper feeling.
The rest of them, I was just joking.
Yeah, that's what he said. He goes, I kind of know that they'll let me down, but this one, I'm like, give me a break, man.
Is there any more way you can hedge some bets?
What sucks for me is that I was watching them. Who did they end up winning the penalties with? A week ago.
Oh, damn it. Who was it?
Not Sweden.
No. They beat Sweden straight out. Colombia.
Colombia, that's right. Yeah, it sucks for me because I was watching and my boy Henderson, the Liverpool
guy,
he's the one who fucking shit the bed.
Yeah, that was the one joke I got through the group chat. I got a few mates in group chat. One's Man U, one's one's Chelsea, and they're like, of course the Liverpool guy misses it. So, all right, mate, calm down.
Yeah, but no, Henderson. I've got mixed emotions about Henderson because. Like he's an old school English guy. He runs and he's one of the runners. He's like Tom Lynch. He runs and runs, but
doesn't do a lot.
The skills, man, and the head, the brain.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tom Lynch, by the way, I don't want to,
just a nice smooth segue there.
But he come back last week.
Yeah.
Played against who do we play on Friday night? Richmond.
Yeah.
And we got done.
Yeah.
Did you watch that game?
No, don't watch the Crows. I can't stand it.
Oh, really?
There's two teams I can't stand. It's Richmond and the Crows, and I had to watch them because I can't miss a grand final.
Right.
But they shit me to tears.
Okay. Well, Tom Lynch did not have a good game.
Oh, what a surprise.
Yeah, like he came back, and everyone's like, yay, Tom Lynch.
Just re-signed a new
Tom
contract.
Lynch up. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then he had a fucking stinker.
Well, what do you expect?
No, but me and my buddy have a drinking game when
okay.
he fucks up, and it was a pretty funny night. It was Friday night. So anyway, Tom Lynch
out, Henderson out.
Can we give a vote to Tom Lynch on his comeback?
Slide one in there. Tom Lynch, T Lynch. You have made the board, mate. I have a feeling this guy might overtake me eventually. By the end of the season.
How many games are left?
There's enough. Been rocking up, but the World Cup's very exciting. We got the final. The problem is that the time difference to Australia is one of the worst ones I can remember.
Yeah.
So we've got the two semi-finals.
Yep.
3:30 in the morning here.
Oh.
So tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up to watch. Like I said, we're recording this Tuesday night. I'll get up to watch. I can't do the whole game, so I'll get up at 4:30 and watch the second half.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is good because the last few times I've done that, it's actually all the goals have been scored in the second half. So
Yeah.
I'm good to go. So I had to do that 2 mornings in a row. So I'm going to be very tired at work. And now Monday, I'm going to have to I'm thinking of taking the morning off, just moving clients, because I think the game starts at like 12:30, the final.
I think it's Saturday night, Sunday morning.
No, it's Sunday morning. It's Sunday night, Monday morning in Australian time. Yeah.
My expert suggests to me it's Saturday. It's like, what? Okay.
Well, if he's suggesting that, I think he's expecting England to be in the third place playoff.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yes, well played. Yes. Well, maybe it is. So, all right. So, yes, you're right. I won't be getting up for any of those games. I'll just watch the replay.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's every 4 years. I don't mind sacrificing a bit of sleep, but because it's the greatest sporting event in the world.
It is.
So you have to kind of make an effort for it. I'm happy to do it, but yeah, it's one of those things. Like I kind of want England to win because I've got so many friends. You know, my mum's English.
Sure.
You know, I've got a lot of English friends, but oh my god, they're going to be so annoying if they do win. So it's just one of those things. It's like it was bad enough with all my Italian friends when they won the World Cup. I just don't think I can handle that from English people as well.
Oh yeah, I'm still going for England. They're the team I'm supporting at the moment. They're the closest thing to Australia. As funny as that sounds, because they're arch enemy.
As
So
you say,
many
with
things.
every other sport, we hate England.
Yeah, but this one here, you know, I'm taking them in. So I am hoping they'll win. I think they will beat Croatia.
Yep.
I think it'll be England and Belgium, and I think a lot of people call that, or no, a lot of people. I heard some people call it from a way back, so I'm on that train. I think it'll be England and Belgium in the final, and I think Belgium will probably win.
There you go.
So there's my prediction. Belgium will win the World Cup.
Belgium 3-1. You're going to go with mine?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, we'll go for that.
Well, that's good. That's going to be exciting because I think, the Belgium-France game will probably be the most exciting because they're two of the better sort of attacking sides that we've had. So hopefully they'll put in a good game. But England will probably lead to disappointment. But speaking of disappointment, your mate is becoming the toast of the NBA for the king of disappointment. One Carmelo Anthony. Steve,
Yo.
what's going on with your boy?
He, well, obviously he opted in with his contract for OKC. Obviously, you know, getting paid $28 million, you know, it'd be silly otherse. But
And what did OKC say to your $28 million man?
No, they've mutually
agreed
to part ways.
I've mutually agreed to break up with a couple of girlfriends. I'm pretty sure I got dumped. But the way I tell the story is that we mutually agreed. And but I didn't get a $28 million buy.
No. Well, so my understanding is that a couple of the contenders now are looking for that, you know, number 18 all-time great scorer in the league to come over and probably win them a ring.
All right. So who are these teams that are clamoring for this old
There's
man?
3 teams been bandied about.
Yeah.
Is his good mate Chris Paul and the Houston Rockets. Yeah. Which makes sense because they've had a couple forwards disappear.
Had two small forwards leave, Luke Mbah-a-Moute and Trevor Ariza, who are two great defensive players. So it makes sense to slot in another guy that cannot play defense.
The second team is your lot. LA Lakers. LeBron
mate,
again.
If you don't want more votes, mate, you can take that one right off the blade because that is not happening and you know this.
And the third one is Miami Heat.
Right.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade. So I think it's like I don't know. It's a lot of the information is coming from whom again? Who's the information coming from? His manager?
Yeah, his manager. A lot of the talk is coming out from his manager. It's like, oh yeah, these guys are all contacting him. It's like, I don't think they are, mate.
Well, I mean, look, they are buddies.
Yeah.
So, and I remember about 2 or 3 years ago, they all talked about at one point
playing
together. Yeah. But obviously that hasn't kind of worked out.
I think they showed last year that, you know, like he is, like I said, I'll give him the credit. He was a great scorer, a great high volume scorer. But the thing is, he's on the downside of his career now. He's not that guy anymore. But he cannot accept the fact that he's not that guy anymore.
Yeah.
You know, he comes 15th season, same as LeBron. I came at the same time LeBron, me and LeBron are boys and stuff like that. Yeah, but LeBron is really good still. He's like a generational fucking player. You're a great scorer. You were a great scorer. You had that one good gear. You have nothing else to your game. You know, like if LeBron's shots off, he can distribute and play defense and rebound. If Melo's shot's not dropping, he's just going to keep chucking it. He's not a distributor. He's not a great teammate. He's not a good defender. He's not really providing a lot. And at his age, he's no longer that star scorer that you can just give the ball to and he's going to get you a bucket. And he needs to be able to have other facets of the game or come off the bench, which he's proven that he's not willing to do.
No, I know.
So at the moment, pretty shit.
Yeah, it's hard to back him.
Yeah.
My brother Dom, who was also a very staunch Melo fan,
Yep.
he's actually gone off.
He's off. He's off the wagon.
He's
Good
off.
on you, Dom.
Yeah, I know.
Proud of you,
right?
mate.
Yeah, so look, maybe like Melo's my Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'm a loyal motherfucker. I think that's what it comes down to.
You
I'm
are.
loyal.
I don't know why. Blind loyalty going on Melo. But I'll tell you what, though. I will
Yo.
give you some props. I'm not going to run you down
Oh,
completely.
please, yeah.
I don't know if anyone's tuned into our Facebook page. We need to get more people on the Facebook page.
We do.
But we saw one of the all-time great feats of strength last week when Steve posted his video. I mean, admittedly, what kind of guy takes a video of himself at the gym? But I digress.
Yes.
Steve just locking his big muscular hands onto the trap bar, just weights falling off the ends of them. It was that heavy, and just drove up one of the strongest looking deadlifts. And as critiqued by our man Jay Gosling, who has come and gone already, who is a competitive powerlifter,
Okay.
Steve had great technique.
Yeah.
But I think it was more so to do with the t-shirt.
That was.
It was a great t-shirt you're wearing.
Yeah.
And more the idea of spiting me that really drove that up. So I think I'm going to take some credit for your great lift. But it was a great lift, Steve.
Thank you. Yeah, it was actually.
That sounded very Trumpy from me, didn't it?
The motivation, I'll be honest, the motivation was always speed.
Yeah.
Was he told me he did 240 once, and that looked in my head. So I thought, I'm going to give this a crack. But yeah, now I mean, 240 is way in my rearview mirror now.
Yeah.
So I'm moving on. Big Jared here. He told me he does 270.
Yep.
So I'll probably bust that one out tomorrow.
That's
I don't
right.
know if I'll post a video though.
Yeah?
Nah.
If you're getting 270, I think you need to put that one
Yeah,
up.
reckon?
People enjoyed the video, Steve.
Yeah,
they
they
enjoy
did,
the feats of strength.
Yeah, I will wear your t-shirt again because I've always remarked that does give you the 10% extra.
Yep.
And so, folks, if you're struggling with your PBs out there, get on the Icon t-shirt.
Yeah, the Rocky Monero Icon t-shirt, only available in large, medium, and small. I've sold out the rest of the sizes. But they are available. Just inbox us at Don't Be Blasé on Facebook, and
Yep.
we'll be able to send you out a shirt with some...
And it gives you 10% gains straight away.
10%?
10%.
Oh, at least more than that. 20.
Oh, yeah, okay, 20%.
Now, this isn't guaranteed. Yeah, there's an asterisk. You got to read the fine print.
There's a fine print.
But you will look very smart. while
It's
you're
a
in the
nice
gym too.
t-shirt.
But I was very impressed with you, Steve.
Thank you. I was going to... Actually, the t-shirt's so impressive. I was going to tear it Hulk Hogan style.
Yeah.
But I actually liked the t-shirt too much. I actually
Okay.
opted...
We know if you'd done the Hulk Hogan shirt tag, because you did go through the poses and did throw out a Rocky Monero I'm coming for you, which I was very impressed with. That was possibly your greatest promo ever, and it was 4
Well,
words.
possibly it was.
Yes. But had you torn the shirt, I would have given you another one straight as that.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So,
Yeah, I would have done it then.
Well, tomorrow, if you crack the 270 tomorrow,
270, yeah.
tear the shirt, and then
Done.
and then you get a free one,
Done.
new one, and you will look like a dick in the gym with your half-torn shirt.
Won't be the first time I look like a dick in the gym, so that's no problem.
Well, speaking of looking like a dick, we're going to segue again, because I'm getting really good at
Dude,
these
buddy,
segues.
segues.
How good are my segues?
These have been spot on.
Oh, mate. Speaking of dicks, another guy like you, who's quite good at becoming second, put on a live performance that some men in the crowd turned on. I'm speaking about the one second place, the inaugural second place winner on Australian Idol.
That's right.
One Shannon Noll.
Nosy.
He's done a live show. I don't know where it was.
Is that some local
rural,
race?
Yeah, some rural location.
The dog track or the horses or
And
something?
someone, obviously not a huge fan, decided to piff a bottle at him, which is, very much frowned upon. It's a very shitty thing to do. For anyone that hasn't been on stage, if you've been on stage, you understand that you've usually got fucking lights blinding you,
Yes,
much
right.
like when we did our live show,
Mhm.
and you
That's
can't
right.
see anything. So if there's a bottle that just all of a sudden appears in the very close to you, you're going to be a bit shirty. Now, shirty's one thing. Responding with someone tell that guy to come up here and I'm going to punch his teeth down in his throat, and then utters the immortal words that I will never forget, and then I'm going to fuck your missus and your mum.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? That's the best bit.
Well, I only heard the radio bits. I didn't
No, they edit the good stuff.
Oh,
yeah, he's like,
man.
someone get him up here and I'll take him back there and I'll punch him in the face. And then he
Yeah.
goes, then I'll fuck your mother and your mum. Sorry, fuck your missus and your mum. It's like, oh, that's just... And then he just goes, all right, guys, sing along, and starts singing Horses. It's one of the great... You think my segues are good? I've never been able to segue quite from, I'll fuck your missus and your mum, into, all right, guys, sing along, we're playing Horses.
Well, Knowles, he has since apologised
Well, I think
via
you
his
have to.
Facebook page.
He's been charged with the crime of, and this is the one that this is another conversation for another day, toxic masculinity. It's apparently his actions reeked of toxic masculinity.
Who labelled that?
Oh, someone on Twitter. Yeah, someone that was
Twitter people.
Yeah, someone that was very. The problem is, like, we've discussed this before. The left is starting to become more overbearing than the right.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, like, it's just started like this whole. Yeah, how did you even know that he identified as a man? For starters, you didn't know that when you throw out the toxic masculinity. That's the kind of bullshit we're getting into these days. You know, it's just there's too much going on anyway. But anyway, Shannon Noll has issued an apology because he was, pissed and said something that was probably inappropriate.
Probably inappropriate. Yes, that's one way to put it. Now he has publicly apologised via his Facebook page.
Yes.
And that led me, and I'm the first one to do it, but it leads you on a bit of a path. If you follow on Knowlesy's Facebook,
yeah,
and you just read all of his posts, there are some hilarious crackers on that Facebook page.
There is, to be honest with you, I don't know when it started. It started a few years ago.
Yeah,
but this became this almost tradition now that whenever Knowlesy posts something, everyone has to get in the comments and we'll post some of the most asinine comments and almost like a little story underneath it. And it's just great. It's worth like following his page alone.
Yes.
Just to get the comments.
It's a formula. So they'll be like, oh, yeah.
Give us a read, Steve.
All right. Well,
pull up
I didn't
one of
bring
your
my
favorites.
glasses, man. But
oh wow, could you sound any more odd?
Well, so it follows a simple format. So it'll be like, hey, Knowlesy. Bet that's not okay. So basically, he's posted a photo of what looks like a house or something, a bit of demolition or something. And this is just the top comment. Hey, Knowlesy, bet that's not the first load you've dropped in the dog hole. hey. Well, look, I'm going to have to get you to read this because I'm fucking, my eyes are blue.
Hey, heal your old sniffer dog, just firing the red rocket. Hey, while you have you on the blower, Cham, are you able to return my VHS of Howard the Duck I borrowed you? The Hugs and Kisses wants to spice things up, and the opening scene with the duck in the bath, oh, never mind. Anyway, Uru, Cham.
All right. So as you can see, they always do the same thing. They'll be like, hey, Knowlesy. They'll give him a bit of a hard time, followed by only yanking your chain.
Yeah.
Then they'll go into, by the way, can you return
something
object X because the missus wants it back or whatever the reason is. Then it closes off, and it's
following along the lines of this one. Hey, Knowlesy, you old scrope. Bet that's not the first mangy flea bit beast you stuck your log in after $5 illusions at local Rissole, eh? I bet she looked like Marty Monster. Nah, settle down now. Here's the money pulling your boob. Anywho, I was wondering if I could use your mobile for me old doll diary. I need to hand it to Centrelink on Monday and haven't applied for Sweet FA. The old trouble and strife will be mad as a cut snake if I get cut off. Anywho, keep chugging on, superstar. There's a lot of that.
That's some good stuff, man.
I think it's one of the highlights of Australia. That is, like, it's just this is the thing that is tying into my appalling. The fact that I was so appalled with the whole toxic masculinity crap is because I feel like Australia's losing its sense of humour.
Yeah,
like our whole thing is we take the piss. Nothing's out of bounds. Nothing's too sacred. And now PC police are just trying to make sure that no one is ever offended ever in their entire life, and everyone wants to get along. Well, sorry, life isn't like that.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a certain amount of people pissed off no matter what you do. We talked about it like on other shows. Who are the all-time great rock stars? This and that, blah blah blah. Who do you love? Who are these legends? If you went into their private lives and found out all these things, there's a good chance everyone would turn on them in today's social media. Like I did. Like my favourite wrestler of all time is Ric Flair. Tell you what, if they had a lot of people like with iPhones, that sort of stuff, filming the kind of shit that he did, and he'd be up for more sexual harassment lawsuits than you could possibly imagine. But like I said, it's just I'm not condoning what these people are doing. I'm not saying that's the way, but I'm just saying people have got to understand that life isn't all sunshines and rainbows, and it's never going to be all sunshines and rainbows. And if you start taking away stuff like that, which is people's sense of humour, then what's the actual point of being here?
No, that's right. Yeah, well put, very succinctly put.
Thank you.
Well done. I cannot counter that. That's perfectly put. Well done, Steve.
What have you got your thoughts on the period?
Well, I was just laughing at some cheap jokes. I actually had not considered that deeply. So, yeah, well done.
Thank you, Steve.
Well done.
Well, I try to get involved.
Yeah.
I try to think about things a little bit, a bit of a deeper level. Because like I said, it's one of those things where once you start thinking about things too strongly, you can't get them out of your head.
Yeah.
And I'm always very much about, I won't ever just sort of just take anything at face value. I always want to know the rest of what's going behind things. And when I start to see things like that, like as much as my friends will always joke that, I grew up in the wrong country. I should have grown up in America because I love my American sports and I wish I'd grown up in an American high school playing football, that sort of bullshit. But I really appreciate, and you do this when you travel a lot more, is you appreciate the beauty of Australia. And Australia, for me, when I was a kid, was, like Paul Hogan and that larrikin behaviour and, green and gold and, come on, mate, too right, bloody and that sort of personality. But I feel that's being taken away because a lot of it turned into, being a proud Australian means fuck off anyone that doesn't look like Australian. Well, what makes an Australian? That's a different argument. And then there's that very sentiment that Australia is quite racist, which, has some merit, but, we've always been able to move on. And then now it's getting into, blokes are doing this and blokes are doing that. And, blokes are doing some really shit things. But, everyone does really shit things. There's some horrendous stories on both sides of the equation. Yes, there's men that are, assaulting women and, domestic violence, that sort of stuff. And like I said, this is getting deep, but there's a point to it. There's a point to it.
Yes.
But, that's terrible stuff. But then on the same token, there's women that are, that they bully young girls into, committing suicide. It happens all the time. Some women that, take men's rightful kids away from them and don't allow them sort of to interact with their children, rightly or wrongly. A lot of the times, it's, for the safety of the child, but sometimes they're just being petty and vindictive, which is not good as well. So it's just no, you can't just say, all right, all men are shit, all women are shit. You can't say all Muslims are bad, all Asians are bad. It's just, we used to have this beautiful melting pot where it was always like, I don't like you, but we'll get along and have a beer. You don't like, people didn't like me because I was a wog. We'll make jokes about it. And the kids I used to go to school with, be like, it's 3:30. Where's the day go? Oh, there he is. But you don't take offense to it. I could have stood up and gone, I'd been racially vilified. Or I could just go, good joke. And now I'm going to have fun at you for being ginger and you can't go in the sun. It's just, we used to have a laugh about everything. And I feel that's been taken away. That's why I take things like this so seriously because I get so pissed off because some of my jokes. I don't mind stepping over the line. If I had to apologise for every time I stepped over the line, I know Michael Jordan a lot of apologies. I don't want to apologise to him because he's a scumbag.
Yeah, Nick's not happy. Nick's not happy. But also, and I'll quickly go on from there, is I've heard things like in kids' cricket games, they're no longer counting the score.
Oh, yeah, no, that's been happening for a while now. With a lot of kids' sports, they don't keep score because you don't want anyone to feel like they... Like, my mum's a teacher, and she was telling me about times where they don't let them mark kids' work in red pen because the negative connotations of red and the kids will feel like a failure.
This shit up, man?
It's people, like I said, it's now, like I said, now the left wing is becoming worse than the right wing.
Yeah.
Or not worse than, just as bad, Yeah. And they can't seem to find any sort of even ground. And if, things like comedy and that sort of stuff are getting taken away too, then that's always been the great sort of equalizer, the great thing that brought everyone together. Things like sport brought everyone together. And now if you start taking away the competition of sport and you start taking away this, then people are just going to be hating each other and hating each other. I was listening to a podcast the other day with the late, great Anthony Bourdain. Like, he was explaining how he had dinner with some people, like some right-wing people in America. He was raised left-wing, that's his upbringing, but he had some dinner with some right-wing people, and all these people in America kind of turned on him, like, how can you be friends with those people? And why would you? And he goes, I have had meals with people in Africa, where, these are the kind of people from tribes that, do genital mutilation on women and that sort of stuff, or, and that's horrendous. Or people in Asia and, they've got slave labor going and stuff like that, but you don't seem to care about that. It's just that your politics tell you don't like this person, so now I'm the bad guy because I'm sitting down with these people.
Yeah.
And his theory was, if you sit down and share a meal with somebody, you can hash these ideas out. And, when you're a guest at someone's house, you might not agree with them, but you're not going to cut them and go, you're fucking wrong. You're going to be like, right, well, this is my point of view. And you try to come, and so it's one of those things where instead of having this thing where, I hate you and you hate you and this and that, it's like, how about you just all get together and just sort of talk without yelling, without trying to say, I'm right, you're wrong, which is never going to get over the line with anybody as a resulted with this show.
Yeah.
But just this whole notion of just always having to be right and tell everyone else they're wrong and this person's no good and that, we just need to sort of stop all that bullshit and just get into just, being being sort of a little bit more empathetic and just seeing other people's sides. So, like I said, as far as Nollsy goes, yes, his behaviour wasn't great. It's nothing that wouldn't happen at any other sort of country pub, any other time.
Sure.
You know, any weekend there's probably a fight that goes on like that at any time. But if you want to settle a fight, don't do it online. It's just weak. Do it in the cage.
Yes. Dude,
Like
this whole time, right?
UFC 226. Steve, I know you wanted to talk about it. How's that? I think I'm going to give myself 3 votes for the greatest segue of all time.
Dude, I was like, how the hell is he going to segue to UFC? Because you know what, folks, you know, we don't have a lot of planning on this show. But as Speed was going on his 12-minute monologue there, I just scribbled down on the paper UFC 226. And he beautifully segued. Well done. Congratulations.
It's a fine art. It's when you have a job where you essentially talk shit for a living.
Yeah.
You learn how to weave a tapestry of shit. And I think I found my calling.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was like watching Ghost, you know, when they're like, and he's molding this sack of shit and into this beautiful segue. I loved it. UFC 226, I just wanted to bring it up because it was quite amazing.
Yeah.
It was unfortunately, again, a fight was pulled late because someone was injured. In this case, Holloway had symptoms of a concussion. But it did have the heavyweight bout between Stipe Miocic and
Daniel Cormier.
Who, by the way, is the best. Well, it depends on which side you look at it, but I think he's a heel.
Yep.
He's the heel of. He's so smug and such. He's lost twice against John Jones. One was overturned into a no contest, but he still claims to be the greatest. Yep. And it's just like. Anyway, long story. He fought against Stipe. I was going for Stipe.
Yeah.
He caught him with this killer right hand, which was listening to what's his fucking name? One of the commentators. It was very technical. Once he explained it, it looks very. You know, I didn't notice. I just saw the big right hand. But when they talked about it and how he underhooked him and shit like that, it was a big setup. It was actually really well done. So congrats to Cormier.
Yep.
But what was killer about it, or killer yes and no, was the bit where the WWE champion. Brock Lesnar enters the cage, gives him a 2-hand shove, which was very impressive, by the way.
And DC fires back with the shove me now, I'll put you to sleep later.
Yeah.
Now,
I wonder if he practiced that one.
Oh,
he rehearsed it.
I think it was all a bit rehearsed.
Yeah.
This is the one thing I love about the UFC compared to the wrestling thing. It's, wrestling's all bullshit, it's all fake. No, we're real fighters. Yeah, no worries. If you guys steal any more stuff from pro wrestling, everything that happens bell to bell, that's real.
Yeah.
All the other shit that surrounds it, mate, where do you think pro wrestling started from? It's all bullshit. But it was good to watch. You know, like, admittedly, this is like, I think 4 fights in a row that I've had like a message from our man Ben Wilkinson.
Yeah.
That would be like, get on Daniel Cormier, invest some money, which is his code for bet everything. And I'm like, no, Stipe.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, get on DC. I'm like, no, Stipe. I just kept writing one word back, Stipe. And he's just like, fried chicken's going to win this. I'm just like, Stipe. He goes, you never listen to me. I'm like, did you say Stipe? And then I get the told you so message. Same thing happened with Ronda Rousey. Same thing happened. There's a few fights been going on where I keep hearing this from Ben. So, Ben, you were correct. I hope you won a lot of money and go fuck yourself.
But it was amazing. Now, he is a 2-time champ. The only other one has been Conor McGregor.
Yep.
Like, concurrently.
Groups,
that's right. So, and now it's all about will he fight Brock? You know, I'm surely Dana White's like whispering in the ears of USADA going, come on, man, give him a break, man. We got some money on it.
Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't fought in a couple of years. Come on, get him back. So, pretty exciting time for UFC.
Well, I just think it's funny. It's because, like, is Brock the best contender for the fight?
No, but he'll sell tickets, man.
Exactly. So DC's had a couple of paydays that were almost pretty much taken from him because of, you know, drug cheating from John Jones and other people pulling out.
Yep.
So I think this is sort of Dana's way of going, right, at the end of the fight, call out Lesnar, and then you'll get your big payday. I think this is just, the whole thing just smells like a big setup for a big payday, which is, you know, well within their rights. It's the whole point of the sport. So the reason people tune in for what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, rivalries.
Yeah.
Now, if you have to manufacture a rivalry this badly, doesn't matter as long as it sells tickets. And that's something that's definitely going to sell tickets.
There was 2 quick little interesting things I wanted to bring up. One was when he entered the ring and he gave the Cormier this massive shove. There was this little fucking Oompa Loompa guy on the left-hand side who shoved Lesnar.
Yeah.
Lesnar barely moved. He didn't even realise he was there. But what was funny about it, he was in Cormier's corner. But what happens, if you see in the background, he goes off and he's high-fiving all his team, but he's like going,
Yeah, just shove those in.
and even Dana White come over and shook his hands. That was pretty cool. The second thing what I quickly wanted to do is Joe Rogan gets involved and gives him the mic. And Brock Lesnar, he was like, Nagano's shit, Stipe's shit, and DC, I'm coming for you, MFer. And he throws the microphone at the camera. Yeah. But the thing is, Rogan's hand was still attached.
Oh, right.
So and you look at Rogan's face, it's all of a sudden there's no smiles anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, motherfucker, what are you doing for?
Yeah.
I thought that was just two little tidbits. I thought was actually a bit of sub-stories.
Yep.
Check it out. It was very entertaining.
So you weren't offended by Brock Lesnar's toxic masculinity?
No, I wasn't. No, I didn't know it was a thing until 7 minutes ago. So, no, it wasn't.
17 minutes.
17, so
I
it was a
was
long
talking for a while. Well, that's good. Like I said, that's something to look forward to. And that's, like I said, there hasn't been a lot of UFC to look forward to since, is Conor coming back? Yes or no?
Yeah.
They don't have Ronda anymore. They don't have, George St. Pierre's sort of in and out. Not really the guy he was. John Jones is a mess.
Silver's gone.
So that's all they've really got left is because Daniel Cormier is good, but he's not a draw.
No, that's
and
correct.
that's why they've needed to bring him in. Like Ngannou deserves a shot, but they're going to give it to Lesnar first because that's what's going to draw. And that's the biggest problem with the sport. And we talked about this like about a year ago. Is that who's going to actually drive this bus going forward?
Yeah, that's right. And that's another thing you mentioned, Ngannou, whatever his name is. The worst heavyweight bout of all time actually preceded was before the actual main event. If you want to watch, it's 3 rounds of no punches.
Yeah.
It's 31 punches were thrown for the match.
I heard there was actually no punches thrown in the first round.
It was
and
amazing.
maybe like 5 in the second round. I was following it on Twitter. I wasn't watching it.
It was shocker. So unfortunately, so he's now undone himself. Mm-hmm. All that hard work to get to that number 1 spot.
Yep.
Gone.
Oof.
Yeah. It's a tough game.
Well, it's gonna be tough, and so there's not really much to touch on there, and that's gonna probably be us for this week. But we are leading into something special, team.
Yes, we are.
We are coming up on our 50th episode. Steve's very excited. He's like, "Oh, hey, how many have we done? We're getting close. Yes, we're getting close to 50. Okay, this is gonna be the big 50. So we're gonna have a special event for our 50th episode. So you're gonna have to keep listening for the next couple of weeks. Start sharing this out to friends because they're all gonna want to hear it too. We're gonna do a bit of a crossover. It's gonna be almost like that Simpsons and Family Guy episode." But probably a lot shitter. So that's what we got coming up. So we've got our 50th episode coming up. Don't forget to send in your votes for Shit Bloke Awards. If we've forgotten anybody, you guys are free to chime in too. Probably don't send me any more votes. I've got enough. I mean, I'm probably going to get a few votes from my 17-minute speech about everyone get along and everyone sing Kumbaya. But, send in the votes. I don't care. Send them in. We want to get everyone of those. Thanks to Big J for the intro music. Thanks for Jared Gosling for getting involved in the show, even though that Brisbane song is fucking horrendous. And we'll speak to you next week. I'm just
He's actually run out of words.
I've run out of words. I've used them all up on my segues. My brain's switched off now. But for Speed Arrow 1 and saying goodbye, for Steve Murray,
see you later.
We'll speak to you next week. Peace.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.